sound like you're captive.
He is. He's not getting fed.
You don't get fed till we're monetized, Aaron. In order to feed Aaron today, please make sure we get to 1,000 subscribers and at least 4,000 watch hours before the end of the month.
Please, I'm hungry.
Welcome back to the most unprofessional sports podcast in the world. This is Swivel Chair Sports. I'm your host, Zach Circleberg Burkle. With me today, as usual, are my co-hosts Aaron and Siege. Go ahead and say hi, guys.
Hi guys.
All right, so big NFL episode once again on slate today. Starting off with a recap of the games that just went down this past weekend, the conference championship games. Start off in the NFC, where the Philadelphia Eagles beat the 49ers 31-7 after Brock Purdy went down early with an elbow injury. Turned out to be a torn UCL. So who knows if we'll even see him next year, even if he was in the 49ers season plans. But Eagles end up just absolutely running away with it once Brock Purdy went down. But I want to start off with do you guys think the Niners would have won had Brock Purdy not gotten hurt, or at least made it more competitive? What do you think, Aaron?
I mean, obviously it probably would have been more competitive, but I picked the Eagles, so I don't think it really would have made much of a difference.
Well, I mean, I thought you were wrong, so I picked the Niners. But yeah, I don't know. The Eagles looked way better than I gave them credit for. What do you think, Siege? Do you think the Niners would have won if Purdy didn't get hurt?
I don't necessarily think they would have won. I think it would have been a much more competitive game. I mean, Christian McCaffrey was getting reps at quarterback, so I mean, I
Yeah,
think anything would be more competitive than Christian McCaffrey getting the ball
right.
at the quarterback position. But yeah, I mean, me personally, I'm sold on Purdy. I think Purdy carries himself really well for being a rookie, let alone Mr. Irrelevant. I mean, he
Yeah,
carries himself like he's supposed to be there. So,
sucks to see the UCL though. I don't.
yeah,
I'm sure that'll probably at least keep him out for the preseason next year. We'll see if he's able to play in the regular season, and if the Niners just decide to go with Lance, regardless. So, yeah, like usage, I was a big believer in Purdy. I thought that he had um, what it took, especially with the weapons around him, specifically, to take the Niners past the Eagles and go to the Super Bowl. But I mean, we said it going in that we didn't know if it really mattered who played quarterback for that team, and we found out real quick that you need at least a quarterback to play that position on that team, because when you put Christian McCaffrey back there, I mean, that once Purdy went, or once the other guy went down, what I can't remember his name.
I
Um,
don't know his name either, but he's been in the league for 15 years. So,
yeah, Josh Johnson. Once he went down, I mean, the Niners never even looked like they were thinking about passing. So, uh, it was going to be really tough to dig themselves out of that hole without a passing game the rest of the day. So, but I guess moving on to the quarterback question over there in San Francisco. Obviously, they have three, I guess, really two quarterbacks they're probably going to choose from. I think they're going to let Jimmy G walk in free agency. So it's probably going to come down to Brock Purdy and Trey Lance. I think the UCL injury kind of gives the Niners all the excuses in the world to start Trey Lance next year, just like this year. But what do you think, Aaron? Do you think Trey Lance or Brock Purdy should get the nod next year, assuming both are healthy?
Well, I mean, it's a little early to say. I mean, Trey Lance has only had what, 2 games? Not that, or I guess like 1.5 games. Not that he
Yeah.
looked super impressive, but you would think that they'd have enough faith and want to give him a shot after drafting him as high as they did. So I
Right.
don't see why they wouldn't give him a shot at least.
Yeah, and they, like I said, they have all the excuses in the world to start him off next year without getting flack from the fans, due to Brock Purdy going 7-1 when he started this year. Because
When
if
would he
Brock,
be back?
I mean, usually it's about a 9 month
Mm-hmm.
deal. So
Early, so what? From what I saw, the earliest he could possibly be back is like 6 months, but that's
that's pushing
not
it
even with
too.
like throwing. Yeah, I
Yeah,
feel like
that's
that's not even with
yeah.
Probably
throwing,
would
things
most
like that.
So
most of
he
the time.
he he probably won't be back until the second or third month of the season at the earliest. So Trey Lance is going to start the first probably half the year at least, and then we'll see what happens from there. But what do you think, Siege? Who would you rather have going forward, Trey Lance or Brock Purdy? Just in your opinion.
I kind of agree with Aaron. I don't think we got a big enough sample size of Trey Lance.
Yeah.
But seeing what Brock Purdy did when he got his opportunity, I wouldn't. If they were both perfectly healthy, I don't see why you wouldn't throw Brock Purdy out there at the beginning of the year. To be honest.
Right. Ride with the hot hand. I agree. Yeah, that's my theory on it. I mean, obviously, kind of like we just said, Brock Purdy's probably not going to be ready for opening day, so it doesn't really matter in the long run. But if I had to pick between the two, I'd ride with the guy that I know can win, um, instead of the guy that we've been saying for the last 3 years. Oh, we just gotta wait and see, wait and see. We haven't seen enough. We haven't seen enough. I know that's due to him being drafted by a team who just made the Super Bowl recently. At the time, thought they had their franchise guy at one point with Jimmy G, but I mean, I'm kind of ready to sell the stock on Trey Lance, even though we haven't seen much of him, because I'm tired of even whenever he did play this year, he wasn't great. So I know it was a small sample size and all, but I don't know. I don't have much faith in the guy. But moving on to the Philadelphia Eagles side of things, obviously with their win in at home against San Francisco and Kansas City's win at home against Cincinnati, the two are facing off in the Super Bowl here in a couple weeks. Do you think with his how well the Eagles defense played against the 49ers offense, who outside quarterback had just loaded with all pros and pro bowlers, from wide receivers to tight ends to running backs to linemen to fullbacks, even with Kyle Juszczyk. So obviously the Eagles D did a great job, despite the quarterback situation in San Francisco not being ideal. The Eagles did a fantastic job holding that team to 7 points. Do you think that defense can hold up and replicate themselves in the Super Bowl against the Kansas City offense that's kind of humming right now, even with Patrick Mahomes on one bum wheel? Aaron.
Well, first of all, I wouldn't necessarily say that the Chiefs' offense is humming at this point. I mean, we've got a bunch of injuries that we got to wait and see how that's all going to pan out. I mean, granted, they
Sure.
do have a couple weeks to heal up, but I mean, of course, they're like the number three ranked defense in the league. I don't know if they'll have the exact same success, but they're no slouch. I think their defense is definitely better than the Bengals defense, and they
Yeah.
gave the Chiefs fits. So yeah, I don't see why they couldn't have a similar performance. Probably not as effective, just because
The quarterback
Mahomes and Kelsey
situation.
are so special. But
That too.
I can
But
see
yeah.
them really giving the Chiefs a tough time.
Yeah. What do you think, Siege? Do you think the Eagles defense is legit?
Um, I think they're. I mean, I think they're better than like. I think they're better than I think you see Burke, maybe because you
Yeah.
hate on the Eagles for some reason.
I don't. Yeah. I don't know why, but
I think they're legit. I mean, I think they've proved all year that they're legit by just their record alone. I mean, their offense is really good with Jalen Hurts.
it is.
I mean, it helps to have a good defense to give your offense the ball.
Oh
So
yeah.
I think they proved throughout the year that they're really good, and I think they're gonna hold their own against Kansas City.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I still they've still it's still true that they had a cupcake schedule all regular season, and then their two playoff opponents weren't exactly I mean, yeah, the Niners were supposed to be good, but once the quarterback went down, it wasn't it was game over. And then the Giants, even though I had the 1 week delusion of backing Daniel Jones, that doesn't mean the team was good. So I still have yet to see the Eagles play a team as good as Kansas City, especially on the offensive side of the ball specifically. Outside of maybe Minnesota, but Minnesota's defense is way worse than Kansas City's. So I don't think that's the same. Especially Kirk Cousins versus Patrick Mahomes is way different too. So I think Kansas City offense can obviously do a lot of things that most offenses in the NFL can't do. I don't think it's gonna be like throwing, just going running down the field without a care in the world. I think they're going to get some stops. I think we're going to get some big plays. I think it's going to be a pretty even fight, like you guys kind of referenced. I think it's going to be a pretty even fight throughout the entire ball game. But I do expect that Eagles defense to get torn up from time to time during the game. At least a few times. As the game goes by, I think they'll get hit by a couple chunk plays. So, um, I guess moving on to the AFC Championship side of things, where the Kansas City Chiefs took on the Cincinnati Bengals in
What's his name?
Bengals uh, in Arrowhead Stadium, Kansas City, Missouri. Um, Chiefs end up winning that game 23-20. Came down to the wire. Harrison Butker kicks a game-winning field goal with I think 2 seconds left or 3 seconds left on the clock, and then end up
3
squibbing
seconds
it.
left. What kind of fan are you?
Shut up. 3 seconds left. Ended up squibbing it down, and the Bengals couldn't make anything of it, and the ball game was over at that. So, starting off with the Bengals, obviously they have a lot of questions this offseason with what they're going to do contract wise with a couple people. T. Higgins, a lot of guys on the defensive side. Joe Burrow's money's about to start hitting here soon. They're going to extend him. What can they do in the offseason to surpass the Chiefs once again like they did last year? And I mean, I don't know. A lot of people around here I hear are saying that last year was kind of a fluke. That the AFC Championship game last year was Patrick Mahomes' only playoff meltdown in his entire career, and it's probably never going to happen again, from what I can see. I don't think the Chiefs will ever lose to the Bengals as long as I'm alive. So, what do you think,
You
Aaron?
are
What can
just the king of hot takes that are just terrible takes. Absolutely ridiculous.
what do you think,
The
Aaron?
malarkey that comes out of your mouth, my guy, is so absurd.
I, I'm the king of
You know what?
BS. And
You got at most
what do you
10
what?
years left on your life, you don't think?
That's what I'm saying. I don't live the most healthy lifestyle. It's very possible that I could drop dead tomorrow, and then the Bengals didn't beat us again. So, but what can the Bengals do this offseason to better their chances of winning next year?
Um, well, first of all, I'd like to say that I've been thinking about this last game between the Chiefs and the Bengals, and
Where we
I
stomped them,
think
wasn't even close.
I think Burrow might have a little bit of uh, growing up to do, I guess would be my words. Um, he has a tendency, and he did it like 3 or 4 times, to just kind of throw up jump balls into double coverage. And
Yeah.
granted, it works, but it's what got him into trouble, and it's
Right.
probably
Well, I
why they
mean,
lost.
yeah, and you can do that when you have T. Higgins and Jamar Chase on your team, but once those two are, hurt or gone, what is he going to do? So,
And it didn't even work with those two. I mean, he threw 2 picks.
yeah.
So he's gonna have to. I think he's gonna have to fix that. Kind of get that out of his head, not to do that as much. And then obviously you got to keep keep weapons on the team for him to throw to.
Yeah.
Having a good run game is really big.
Yeah, that's
That helps the
huge.
pass game a lot. So, I mean, I don't think they have.
Need to
They've got
shore
a
up
good
that O
team.
line. They got to shore up that O line at some point.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's worked for them. I mean, he's good enough as of right now to make it to the
I mean, that's a big
championship
reason.
game.
Yeah, but that's a big reason they lost the championship game is because they couldn't protect Burrow.
Yeah, but I mean, they're getting there, so they're not far off. Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a far step to be able to contend with the Chiefs. I mean, they're already doing that. So
Well, yeah, I
just
mean,
couple shore up a couple key positions, and they're pretty
right,
much there.
right. Like, obviously, I'm being ridiculously sarcastic when I'm saying that. We're never going to lose to them again. They're an amazing team who has had the Chiefs number up until this last game. So, what do you think, Siege? What can they do this offseason to increase their chances of going to the Super Bowl again?
I think you kind of touch on it a little bit is kind of button up the O line a little bit, get some of these Georgia O linemen to
Something.
come over there and play a little bit more.
Something.
Because, I mean, um, Joe Burrow, and I think growing up could be part of it. But one thing that I see in him is, well, I mean, last year he did that interview and he was talking about sacks, and he was like, "Well, when did the sacks happen? Third down sacks. I don't really care about third down sacks unless I'm in field goal range. Then I'll throw it away and we'll get some points out of it."
That's not the
I'm sure you guys have seen that. So I mean, it shows a level of maturity where he's not like blaming his O line for sacks
sure.
or anything like that. It's another thing where like if he's running for his life and he has to throw the ball down the field because he's just running for his life all the time,
Yeah.
that's another thing you kind of have to look at. Maybe if he gets a more polished O line, then he'll have a few extra seconds to make a decision or something.
Right.
But I mean, you see it with Mahomes too. Mahomes throws up stupid balls all the time.
Oh yeah. No, that's the thing that.
He,
Yeah.
I mean, they all do it. It's just whether they get away with it or not.
Mhm.
Really, at the end of
Mhm.
the day.
Burrow's first interception was terrible though. I mean, he threw
Oh, it
like
was
like a
awful.
15
Yeah.
yard fade in the
Yeah.
middle of the field. It
Yeah.
was a jump
Yeah,
ball. I mean,
Yeah. The
we've seen
second the
Mahomes do
set
that.
the second one was just a hell of a play by Cook, but the first one was bad. It
the
was
first one was
bad.
The second one, the guy was bracketed. He shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No, you shouldn't have thrown it. But I mean, if Cook doesn't lay out for that full extension, it's caught. So it was a hell of a throw. It's just
Right. If the defender wasn't there, it was caught.
he made them. Okay, go ahead, Siege. Finish up.
But no, I think the O line would be for the Bengals over there, and to help them kind of
Yeah.
keep projecting in the way that they are. I mean, they're doing a great job without it right now. Made it to the Super Bowl last year, to the
That's the
championship
thing,
game this
man.
year. They're one game away again. They were one call away. Might I add. So I don't know. We'll see.
One call away.
I don't know about that. I mean,
And listen, Burrow did get smacked, late hit. Then Patrick Mahomes gets hit on the sideline. It was a good call. I'm not gonna lie, that was a good call.
I think
But
they would have got
before
the.
that call, there was two holdings.
They were not two holdings.
Yeah, so there
No,
was two holdings.
no. Gene's territory went over it. The one on the right guard was definitely not a hold.
No, the
And
left.
So
The left.
so that actually
the right
bring.
guard was not a hold. If because there was two holds on that play, you're saying.
The left. The left. I
Left
don't know if it's
tackle is the
left
one you're
tackle.
saying.
Yeah, that one.
He said it wasn't a hold until, and it, quote unquote, is up to the refs, is what he said. It's kind of
Yeah.
like that's where it gets thrown into limbo.
They just let
Because
it
when
go,
he's
and then they
when
throw flag on them with a few seconds left, and they kick the game-winning field goal.
So this actually brings me to my next question: is did the refs help the Chiefs win? Because a lot of people are not only arguing about that, which not just the holding thing, but the hit out of bounds. Some people are
The
saying
hit
that
out
was.
of bounds was a good call.
No, it was. I agree. I also don't think it would have mattered. I think they would have been able to pick up enough yardage on the next play and get out of bounds. Just because I just felt like they were going to be able to figure out a way to pick up that extra yardage without. Well, they had 8 seconds, so they had time. But people are also complaining that the intentional grounding on Burrow wasn't intentional grounding.
What about the intentional grounding on Mahomes that they didn't call?
Well, I don't know which one you're referring to.
He was sitting in the pocket, threw it in the middle of the field, and didn't make it back to the line of scrimmage, and there was nobody around. I don't know when
I
it.
don't
I
remember that.
don't remember when it happened, but he literally threw the ball like 5 yards, didn't make it back to the line of scrimmage. He was sitting in the pocket, and there was nobody around.
Okay, so yeah, well then sure that should have been intentional grounding. I guess. I don't remember that play,
I don't
but
think it really had much of an effect, but like
yeah,
there's like weird calls that just
no, the roughing the entire game was bad. I'll agree to that. The roughing was bad all game. Um, but I think most of the stuff that people are complaining about didn't really, like there were other things like Joe Burrow shouldn't have thrown two picks. They wouldn't have
right.
lost. I mean, there's
I
a
mean
bunch of other.
that's the thing when we talk about these is
Yeah,
like don't leave it up to the refs.
right,
That's all.
exactly.
That's all it is.
Yeah, Aaron, what do you think?
I mean, no, I don't think the refs helped KC win. I mean, that kind of goes to the argument of, oh, the whole NFL's rigged.
Right.
It's not.
No.
It
Yeah.
might be.
Well, there
Yeah,
are
all these
arguments for
sources coming out saying the NFL's rigged. Like
Did you get the
Harry
script this
Foster.
week? I didn't
Yeah,
get the
I got
script
the
yet.
script.
I didn't get the script.
Hey, Travis Kelsey even said it's rigged. So I mean, you're getting somewhere.
I just it's people that are mad about bad officiating. That's all it is.
Yeah. No, I agree. Sucks. I mean, I was telling Joe this at the time. I was at his house watching the game, and I was like, I hate that that's the way that the game was decided, because now we're just gonna hear all off season about how the Chiefs got handed the Super Bowl, yada yada yada, and it's gonna be really annoying because it's the same shit they tried to pull. Back when we beat the Bills in 13 seconds, like, well, don't don't give us that opportunity. Then let your defense stop us. Um, so it's
Also
just
heard that when we beat the 49ers in the Super Bowl.
yeah, right. Oh, Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't throw that pick, but he did. That's the point. So yeah, if Osai didn't push Mahomes, then yeah, maybe the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl. If the Bills defense could actually get one stop in 13 seconds, then maybe the Bills go to the Super Bowl. If Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't throw that pick and actually hits whoever it was down the seam, then maybe the Niners win the Super Bowl and the Chiefs don't have any. But that's just the thing. It happened, so we have to deal with that. But it is what it is. Chiefs defense obviously played pretty well this game. Holding the Bengals offense to only 20 points is pretty impressive. Uh, do you think that the Chiefs defense can do what they did to the Bengals against the Eagles in the Super Bowl? Because obviously the Eagles play a whole different style of football over there with the read option stuff with Jalen Hurts. They arguably have a better receiver room than even the Bengals do, which is saying something with Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown and Dallas Goddard. And then they have a real good two-headed monster in the backfield with Miles Sanders and Boston Scott. So it's going to be a tall, or not to mention the old lines too.
Sir Kenneth Gainwell and Jalen Hurts as well.
Yeah, yeah, and the offensive line is also incredible. So it's got a tall order for the Chiefs defense. They've been playing really well lately, I would say. What do you think, Aaron? Can they hold up one more time against a really tough Eagles O?
Um, can they? Yeah. Will they? That's a whole nother story. I mean, I've got some things that I'll save for our picks next week. But yeah, I mean, they looked really good against the Bengals, which is probably one of the best offenses we've seen all season, and it seems like they're really kind of hitting their stride here late in the season, which is exactly when you want it.
Yeah, yeah. Defense looks great right now. What do you think, Sage? Do you think the Chiefs defense has what it takes?
I don't. I don't see them having as much success against Philly, just because of the weapons that they have,
Yeah,
especially with Jalen Hurts being able to extend plays, maybe a little bit better than Joe Burrow. So I think they have like an extra little layer to their offense that they're that's just at their ready Jalen Hurts does a good job of being able to read different things and use his legs when he has to, or when he wants to. So I think that's just another layer to their offense that maybe necessarily didn't have to worry about with Joe Burrow and the Bengals.
Yeah, I will say the Chiefs' defense can kind of struggle against running quarterbacks from time to time. Um, I mean, our defensive line is very and really our front seven in general. They're very aggressive and they fly to the ball, so that read option could really screw them up because they we might get beat a lot on Jalen Hurts pull and run. So um, I hope the defense can play as well. If the secondary can play as well against Philadelphia as they did against Cincinnati, I think the Chiefs have a chance. I think that's going to ultimately be what it comes down to. Can we hold Devontae Smith and AJ Brown under 100 yards each, or are they going to get torched? So
And can we
obviously,
throw the challenge flag when Devontae Smith doesn't actually catch the ball?
yeah, yeah. Will Andy Reid have the brain cells to look at Devonte Smith doing this and being like, "Oh, maybe we should challenge that." It looks like he didn't catch it. So
Hey, give the Eagles credit. They'll probably change the signal up this game. Won't be the
yeah.
same.
Well, the NFL's rigged, don't you know? That's why we got a Kelsey Super Bowl. We got the Kelsey
Yeah.
Bowl because the
We
NFL's
got the
rigged.
Kelsey Bowl. Yeah.
Yeah, the Kelsey Bowl. So
They just started their new podcast with the Super Bowl.
exactly, isn't that, oh, yeah, crazy coincidence, right? Yeah. The year they start their podcast is the year they meet up in the Super Bowl. Very interesting. I see what you're doing over there, NFL, partnering with Jukes and shit. Um, so moving on to Mahomes' ankle and the other injury concerns, mainly in the wide receiver room for the Kansas City Chiefs. Obviously, this past game, McCole Hardman and Kadarius Toney both went down with injury. Apparently, Juju Smith-Schuster also went down early in the game with injury, which I did not realize until Marcus Kemp went out there to catch a pass, and I was like, "Wait, where the hell is Juju?" So obviously some concerns there. Mahomes' ankle looks like it's going to be really good come Super Bowl Sunday, considering he has an extra week to rest it. On top of just looking, for the most part, good against the Cincinnati Bengals. But my biggest concern is the wide receiver room. It was already pretty thin, losing Tyreek Hill in the offseason. I mean, if Juju, Kadarius Toney, and McCall Hardman are all out, those are our top three receivers, and all of a sudden Sky Moore's our number one. So I'm a little concerned about that. What are your?
MVS? Forget about MVS.
Oh, MVS, that's right. How can I forget about him? He had a great game this past Sunday. That's I apologize, Marquez. That's my bad, buddy. So Marquez is going to be our number one, which again I
He
love you,
probably has
Marquez.
been all year.
I shut up. I love you, MVS, but not their best number one option. And Marcus Kemp's your number three, which is also not great considering he has more tackles than pass catches in his career. What do you think, Aaron? Is the wide receiver injury something to be concerned about as a Kansas City Chiefs fan? I haven't seen the injury report, so I don't know.
Obviously, I haven't seen it either. Just kind of based off of everything we've seen this season, I would guess we see Tony.
I don't
I
know.
don't.
He looks like, I feel like Kadarius is the least likely to come back. That thing looked
I
nasty.
think. I think Hardman's the least likely to come back.
Well, he is coming off an injury. I think we can agree Juju's most likely to come back.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, Hardman. He was missed like 10 games. Came back, got hit one time and left the game. I don't. I would be surprised if we see him.
Yeah, he's kind of
Um.
soft.
I think if anybody's soft, it's Tony. He's like made of glass, dude.
He is made of glass.
If he could just stay healthy, because he's so explosive with the ball in his hands.
Oh no, no,
It's
none of
so
them
fun
play.
to watch.
None of them participated today. Not even limited.
I mean, that's not surprising.
Oh no. Oh jeez.
I wouldn't say that's necessarily a. It's not good to hear, but I wouldn't say it necessarily spells doom yet.
I
I'd
forgot.
probably wait till next week.
I forgot Justin Watson. So maybe he'll come back. That'd be nice.
He's pretty solid.
Yeah,
Mahomes likes him.
he's fast.
Yeah.
I also forgot about L'Jarius Sneed too, though. Do you think he comes back from his concussion?
Yeah. I think he does.
I guess he has an extra week. Yeah. He should. I forget we have an extra week, so I'm not. Yeah, I should not be worried about the wide receivers at all right now. Yeah, I guess. Siege, do you have anything to add to that? I know you're not much of a Chiefs fan. That was more of a Chiefs fan question.
Yeah, I have nothing to add.
Okay. That's what I kind of figured. In that case, we'll move on to our Player of the Week nomination. Aaron, start us off.
I mean, I guess I'll go with the easy one. It's got to be Mahomes. Gutting out a good performance. You could see he didn't really quite have his burst that he usually has to kind of escape D lineman, but he did a good job for the most part, hanging in the pocket, making the throws he needed to. Came out with 326 yards and 2 touchdowns, so big performance from him, and not to mention that completely legit game-winning field goal drive
Absolutely.
to get us into field goal range. So
Yeah, we'll never lose to the Bengals ever again. What do you think, Siege? Who was your Player of the Week?
I'm honestly gonna take an outside approach to this.
Okay, I like it.
we both have
I'm not
before.
going stats. I'm not going stats. I'm going straight up entertainment value. Ready for this?
Yep.
Give me Travis Kelsey for calling the Cincinnati Mayor a jabroni.
Oh,
Give me Jason Kelsey for his dance.
hey,
like
the
it.
Kelsey brothers, baby. I love it. I love it. All right, so I actually have a tie as well. So my first one is Hassan Reddick for knocking out the greatest quarterback of all time, Brock Purdy, and basically sealing the Eagles' Super Bowl opportunity with that hit and knocking Brock Purdy out for the season. So, good on you, Hassan.
History?
Good on you, Hassan.
He didn't even say 49ers.
I said all time,
That's
baby.
all time.
Yep. Yep, I sure damn did.
Jesus Christ.
And then my second one goes out to Joseph Asai for that fantastic hit down the stretch of the Bengals Chiefs game.
You're such an ass.
In all seriousness, he played his dick off that whole game. I swear I heard his
Played a
name.
Great game. And
He
had a
did.
mistake at the end of the game that cost him. I mean, he sprained his ankle and his.
Yeah,
MCL.
no, that was nasty. Did you see that thing in slow mo?
Yeah.
Oh.
So,
Yeah.
Shout out to him. He had a great game. Really
No,
got himself
absolutely, yeah. No, that's it was a lighthearted jab, but honestly, he really did have a great game. He played his tail off the entire time and just played a little too hard there at the end. And not only did he cost his team the win, but he also hurt himself. So, shout out to him though. Joseph Asai played really well. Like honestly, I hope he doesn't. I hope that doesn't stick with him because that's the kind of thing that can stick with you for a while, and I hope that that's not the case with him. So.
What about the all-time bad teammate move? Did you see his teammate?
Oh, that was so shitty.
Like, come on.
Yeah,
man.
that was awful. I was like,
Isn't
dang,
feeling
bro.
bad enough?
I know. Yeah.
You can't pick your guy up.
Yeah. That was tough. I felt bad for him right there. But, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Maybe he comes back and he's 10 times better. Who knows? But. Guess
10 times better because that really causes problems.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe not 10 times better. Yeah, maybe not 10 times better. We don't want you to beat us there. Don't want you to beat us there, guy. But
At least you want to come over in free agency.
yeah. Maybe if you want to come play for us. But now moving on to something that's near and dear to my heart. So earlier today, Tom Brady officially announced his retirement from the NFL. And through his 20-plus year career in the NFL, he had many games against the Kansas City Chiefs. And boy, do they not go well for us. So, in honor of him finally retiring, this one's for you. How do you do this? Shit, I broke it! Woohoo! Woohoo! There is music playing, you just can't hear it. I promise, it'll be in the post. You'll see it in post. Woohoo! Woohoo! He's gone! He's gone! He's gone! He's gone! He's gone! He's gone! Okay. So...
So, like, didn't he retire once before?
Yeah, I really hope this doesn't come back to bite me in the ass.
He was like 2 months.
Because this whole bit cost
the Raiders.
this whole bit cost me $18, so I really hope it doesn't come back this time. But yeah, what do you guys think? Are you guys surprised that Tom Brady decided to retire instead of sticking around, maybe going to the Raiders or something like that?
A little bit, actually. I kind of expected him to not go out the way he did. But hey,
Yeah, he went out sad like a little.
When the over, he can sign that fat check for commentating and keep
That's
all that money.
true.
So.
Yeah, no, he's gonna get a big old. Why am I tearing this off? This isn't
Like
a real box.
$350 million or something like that, right?
Gosh, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, he already signed it. What do you think, Sage, as someone who Tom Brady may have been a little bit closer to
As
your
a
heart?
diehard Patriots fan.
Yeah, as a diehard New Englander.
Okay, I wasn't a diehard Patriots fan, but it does make me sad to see him go. That's
Oh.
like he died or something.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
His career's dead. Let's go. His career's dead.
R.I.R. Rest in retirement.
Yeah, rest in retirement. Tom Brady. Now it makes me. I don't know. I enjoyed watching him play, and I mean I can't remember watching a football game or a weekend of football, and he hasn't been playing. 'Cause,
We really haven't. Yeah.
yeah, I know. I was like 5 when he started playing.
Yeah.
So it's been a while. Kind of interesting to see one of those types of guys go like move on from their career. Same thing that kind of was like when like if LeBron ever retires, it's gonna be like the same type of deal. I mean he's been a household name for how long?
Right. Exactly.
It's just kind of weird to see these like goats of sports.
I know.
Like Messi is leaving in soccer after next year when he's playing. I don't even know where he's playing right now, but he's gonna be in the MLS soon. Tom Brady's done. Aaron Rodgers, who knows about him? LeBron's gonna be done soon whenever his kid makes it to the maybe.
We hope so.
It's weird.
Yeah. No, it feels like we're kind of finally becoming adults when all these guys start retiring. You know, the ones we watched growing up, and as kids. So it's definitely weird. It's gonna be really weird next year when he's not a quarterback somewhere. Thank gosh it's not the Raiders. Thank gosh it's not in the NFL. Thank gosh he's retired though. Woo! Sorry. Great talent. Just hated seeing him beat us every freaking time. But
I miss watching him, scream at the refs for a call that didn't go his way, or scream at his teammates for not playing well enough.
I'm
yeah,
gonna miss him deflating footballs. That's what I'm gonna miss.
all those flat
That's my
balls.
hero. That's my hero.
Yeah. The pride of Foxborough. But I guess moving on. A bunch of high-profile footballers up there in the NFL. They've been choosing that they don't want to play in the Pro Bowl this year. Yeah, they got voted in. Yeah, sure, they're one of the best in the league at their respective positions. But they just don't feel like it. So, what do you think, Aaron? I mean, obviously, couple people backing out in the AFC. One prominent name in the NFC, I think. But in the AFC, we obviously Josh Allen's not going. I think Joe Burrow's the other one backing out. So instead, we get to see Derek Carr and Tyler Huntley. What do you think, Eric?
I mean, just think at the end of a long, grueling, and in some cases heartbreaking football season, you want to drag your ass out to it's in Vegas this year, right?
So I think it's always in Vegas now. Yeah,
Wait, when is it?
this weekend.
This weekend.
I'm gonna be in Vegas this weekend. Maybe I'll go watch some flag football.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, in fairness, I'm not going to be watching it
It's-
regardless. So.
there's no incentive for them to go. I mean, it's
You're
just gonna
right.
be a bunch of
you-
random games.
Do you think the 17 game season has a lot to do with why people don't want to play this year, or do you think it's just like going to be start becoming the norm regardless?
No, I think it's mostly like a business decision. I mean, with them getting rid of the game, that kind of like eliminates the possibility of getting hurt, but an extra week off, right? Why would you want to like kind of go and
God, I'm in a mess.
go through some of the motions, not
Yeah.
even really fully commit to anything, when you can like take a week off and then get back to your off-season routine? You know, whether it's taking a trip or getting right back into the gym to work. I mean, why? I don't see why having the All-Star game at the end of the season, especially for football when it's so physically taxing, why anybody would want to go.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough call. I think that's why they moved it to a flag football game as opposed to a full contact game. But it's gonna be disappointing. It's gonna be boring this year. I mean, not that I was gonna watch it, anyways, but it's kind of sad to see that. Kind of same thing with the NBA Slam Dunk contest. That the big names don't seem to want to participate anymore. What do you think, Siege?
I think this is gonna sound bad, but I honestly think like people just don't take pride in being named one of the best in their sport anymore. Like,
Ooh, I like that take.
I mean, it's true. They don't ever try. The only All Star game that used to even mean anything really was the
MLB.
thing where they used to play for home field advantage for the World Series.
I wish they wouldn't have got rid of that.
I don't know why they did because I mean they still try in the MLB All Star game. I'm not. That's the one game that they still kind of try in because
It's kind of hard to not try in
It's
baseball.
kind of hard to half-ass baseball.
Yeah.
it is. It's kind of hard. So, but like I hate watching the NBA All Star game. It's boring.
It's so
They just do
disgusting.
dunks and shoot half court shots all game and score 400 points. And it's like, this is so stupid. Like, take pride in yourself and take pride in your game. Like, that's the game you worked your whole life to get to that point where you're at, and then you get named one of the best in your respective sport, and you're not gonna like go out and show that you're one of the best. You're just gonna sit there and like half-ass it. It makes me mad. Like, take some pride in your sport, take some pride in your name, and do something.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's kind of, I don't know, it's weird, man. The generations just don't seem to have the same
It's like the
competitive.
competitive fire isn't the same.
Yeah, yeah.
Like back in the day, you wanted to win the dunk contest because you said you.
Because you
could,
wanted to
you
be
know?
the best dunker.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
now it's like, oh no, I want to take
I
this
don't
time
really-
to rest
I don't
myself and
really
get ready
fe-
for the rest of the season, which
it's
I
like
mean,
s-
makes sense, but
Yeah. It's like SpongeBob, bro. It's like, I don't really feel like it. And it's annoying. It's like, bro, you know, like how many people, and I know this is a cliche thing to say and all that crap, but you know how many people would kill to be in your position, bro? If I made the All-Star game in the NBA, I'd fucking be going, you know, doing, my ass was like, you know, sweating shit, stuff. Like, golly, man.
what did you just try to say?
I don't know. I don't know.
I have another
I think
question
I know.
since we're talking about the NBA All Star game.
Okay, yeah.
What do you think about SGA not being a starter?
We talked about that last week whenever you were gone. Me and Aaron both Me and Aaron both agreed that he got snubbed and he should have been an All-Star starter. But my reasoning ultimately came down to the fact that the voting's just bad. Like it shouldn't be positions. Positions shouldn't matter. You should be able to vote for 5 players, whoever the fuck you want. That was ultimately my position. And I think that would have limited some of those All-Star starter snubs. Another one that came to mind, like in the East, Joel Embiid should have been a starter this year. But because you had Tatum, KD, and Giannis, one of those four is going to get left out. And that's why I think it should be moved to positionless. I think the best 5 players in each conference, there's going to be at least one guy out of the 5 on each side that can play point guard. I promise you. It's the NBA. Someone can play point guard. So, I don't know why we haven't done it already. I mean, it screws people out of accolades. So, what do you think, Aaron? Do you have any thoughts? All right, good talk.
Don't really mean all that much anymore. I mean, especially like
Yeah.
all-star games for like the veterans who've been there, done that. They don't.
Well,
Until
and
it gets them going. It's the off season, or the
Yeah.
postseason, playoffs.
And the other argument I've heard is that, when you get voted into the Hall of Fame, they're not going to say, oh, he was a 10-time All-Star, 7-time starter, 3-time reserve. They're just going to say he was a 10-time All-Star. So, it probably doesn't matter at the end of the day. People are going to bitch about it, so fix it. Yeah, I don't know. But, see, we're a little over 45 minutes in right now. You guys want to keep going or wrap it up?
To you.
I have one quick question, like just to throw it out there.
Let's do it.
We're gonna do a March Madness bracket and post it on Twitter, right?
Oh, of course.
And update it. Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm very excited for
Wait
March.
to see Birch picks for that.
Oh, it's gonna be horrendous.
I'm very excited for
How
March
much do you want to bet
Madness.
he has at least a 116 seed winning?
I do. I will not. Shut the hell up.
Definitely has Mizzou winning for some reason.
Mizzou's winning it all, baby. What do you mean? No, but I am excited for that. That's going to be fun. Also, our Super Bowl picks, if you guys didn't realize, our Super Bowl picks are going to be next week, on next week's pod, not this week. So.
After we recap the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, what are we going to do next week? I don't know what we're going to do next week.
Figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We usually don't figure out what we're going to talk about till the Monday before.
College basketball.
So, yeah, we could talk college hoops, NBA. We haven't talked a lot of NBA recently.
Spring training's starting this month, so.
Yeah, WBC's right around the corner too. So we got a lot of stuff coming down the pike. Once NFL's the Super Bowl's over, we'll be talking about a little bit more diverse stuff. Maybe more than just one sport. But with the NFL playoffs as prevalent as it is, I figured that would just make more sense to just focus on that for the time being. But
A lot of sports coming around the corner, so.
yeah, we're gonna have a lot of stuff to talk about. So I'm not too worried about it. Also, next week is our big ol' episode number 10, the old double digits. So I want to shout out. I don't know who it was. I can't figure out how to look at who subscribed to the channels. But I did notice that we got our 11th subscriber finally. So thank you to whoever our 11th subscriber is. If you want to be the 12th, though, make sure to hit the subscribe button. And also like the video, share it with your friends maybe a little bit. That'd be cool. All the YouTube algorithm bullcrap, I guess. I don't even know if we're going to be in that with hour-plus long videos. So. But thank you anyways. Please like and subscribe. That's probably going to do it for us here tonight.
You got your sports fact?
No fact.
Oh, that's right. Thank you, fellas. Random sports fact of the week. Live pigeon shooting was briefly an Olympic sport. That's right, live pigeon shooting. Not those clay pigeons you may see that go boom, shatter. No, the live ones that go boom, blood. So.
I did know that, actually.
Yeah, pretty cool. And it also says, while Olympic events like solo synchronized swimming are weird enough, Nothing comes close to the live pigeon shooting at the 1900 Summer Games in Paris. The event actually entailed hundreds of pigeons being released in front of competitors who sat back and slaughtered them. While the mass murder of hundreds of birds would never fly today, for obvious reasons, this event was so ill-advised that this was the first and last time it was ever part of the Olympics. So, what do you think,
Do you
Siege?
think they were like there's like a crowd
Do you
like
think?
completely around them or just standing like behind them?
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering. Do you think there was a crowd that like got just all these pigeon guts just blown up on them, and they were like, "Woo!" How do you think that
I
went,
don't, I don't know
Siege?
about the pigeon guts, but were they in a field or were like they in a stadium?
I like to picture them in like a gymnasium.
Dome.
Yeah, like a high school gymnasium with those wood bleachers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I have pictured in my head. I mean, it's Paris after all. They don't have a lot of room over there, especially in 1900. That was before the German bombings. So, I guess that'll do it for us today on Swivel Chair Sports, the most unprofessional sports podcast in the world. I've been your host, Zach Circleberg Burkle. With my co-hosts today are Aaron and Siege. Go ahead and say bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
You sound like you're captive.
He is. He's not getting it.
You don't get fed till we're monetized, Aaron. In order to feed Aaron today, please make sure we get to 1,000 subscribers and at least 4,000 watch hours before the end of the month.
Please, I'm hungry.
All right, that'll do us today, guys. So, y'all have a good one. We'll catch you next time. Deuces.